Welcome to the Chop Seat, where Braves country meets the big leagues. Your host Vic is here to break down everything from truest part to the top of the standings across the league. From walk-offs to wild trades, this is your seat for everything baseball, but a heavy dose of chop. So grab your glove and settle in, because the Chop Seat is open.
Welcome to the Chop Seat, your favorite place for Braves baseball. I'm your host, Vic, and today is Monday, April 13th. Happy Monday. Hope everyone had a great weekend. The Braves, they win another series. The only team in the league has not lost a series to this point. They also debuted their new City Connect jerseys, the powder blues, bringing it back to the 1980s. And I think they're going to have to wear them every homestand now, every game of the homestand, because they were putting up some runs in those jerseys. So we might have to petition for that. We'll see if they're able to hear us out on that. They do improve to 10-6 after this weekend, after starting this new homestand. So we're going to get into those games and see what happened there. Make sure to follow the show on the socials at the Chop Seat Pod. That's on Instagram, and at the Chop Seat on X, TikTok, Facebook, and YouTube. I almost forgot all the socials, but I named all of those. Thank you. Thank you to Braves Country. I see Braves Country starting to support the show. I was looking at my analytics on Spreaker, and listen, we got some Braves Country definitely tuning in now. Georgia, Tennessee, and the Carolinas, so appreciate that. I hope you guys can continue to share the show. This is your first time listening to the Chop Seat. We usually have two segments, Tomahawk Takes, and then we do the Braves forecast. We used to do the MLB, where we talk about the rest of the league. We might have a little something abbreviated today, so you guys can catch up, especially with our friends, little bro, the Mets. Mets struggling, so we'll touch on that quickly, just so you can see how they're doing. But without further ado, let's head into our very first segment of the show.
It's time for Tomahawk Takes.
It's time for Tomahawk Takes, where we catch up with the previous Braves series. And that was a series started against the visiting Cleveland Guardians. But before we get into that, make sure to use code CHOPSEAT20 to save $20 off your first purchase on SeatGeek. If you want to go down to Truist, catch a game, watch the Braves, or you want to see the Braves on the road, go to SeatGeek and use code CHOPSEAT20 to get $20 off your first purchase. And if you want to see something else, you want to see any other sport, any concert, any show, any other event where you need tickets for, go to SeatGeek. SeatGeek is going to have it. When you get your tickets, put in code CHOPSEAT20. And again, you're going to save $20 off your first purchase. So again, the Cleveland Guardians were coming into town. That was the 8-5 Cleveland Guardians going up against our Atlanta Braves, who were also 8-5 coming into this series. And it was Slade Ciccone starting for the Guardians in game one. He goes 5 1/3, 7 hits, 5 runs, 4 of those earned, 1 walk, 3 strikeouts, going up against Bryce Elder, who has been pretty good for us thus far. He goes 4 2/3, 4 hits, only 2 runs allowed from him, 3 walks, 3 Ks. He now has a 1.02 ERA. You heard that right. That is Bryce Elder. It's not Chris Sale. It is Bryce Elder. After Bryce Elder, it was Bummer and Kinley that came in. Dylan Lee came in as well. Jose Suarez, Payams, and Beto, all hands on deck in this one. But again, this is what went down. This is how the action went down. And the Braves had a big inning in this game. And you'll see which one it is when we're going through the stats here. But in the bottom of the third, were runners on second and third. Ronald Acuna Jr., he kind of bloops one out to center field with the infield in. Dom Smith scores, and that one makes it 1-0 Braves. Top of the fourth, Kyle Manzardo and the Guardians, they answer right back. They hit a solo. He hits a solo shot out to right center field. It was 454 feet, 108.4 off the bat. That's the first of the year from him. It's a tied ball game. Then on top of the fifth, Steven Kwan digs in with runners on first and second and 1 out. He lines 1 out to left field. Mike Yastrzemski, he boots it a little bit. He's not able to come up with it cleanly. Angel Martinez, he was stopped rounding third But then once they realize that Yastrzemski boots it, they wave him in. The throw is not in time. The Guardians take the lead there. It's 2-1. But then bottom of the sixth is where the big Braves inning came through. This is big inning. The Braves score 6. And this inning, Acuna Jr., he hits his first homer of the season, 411 feet out to left field. That was 104.9 off the bat. Exit velo kicking. And Matt Olson, he hits one of his own. That's a 4th of the season for him. It was a 2-run homer at that. Those 2 homers make it 4-2 Atlanta. They take the lead. And then later on in the inning, Dom Smith, he singles in Austin Riley. That makes it 5-2. And then finally, Michael Harris II, he joins the party as well, but a 2-run homer out to right center field. That makes it 7-2 Atlanta. Big inning debuting those nice royal blue City Connect jerseys. I'm over here talking about City Connect jerseys. The powder blues. I said royal blue. I'm bugging. Powder blue jerseys debuted. It must have been the jerseys, guys. It must have been the jerseys. Because then the bottom of the 7th, Ozzie and Dom Smith, they both have RBI singles. That makes it 9-2 Atlanta. Top of the 8th, though, Guardians. They see Jose Suarez comes into the game, and they say it's time to tee off on him. They score 3 off of him. That makes it 9-5, but no need to worry because the Braves, they get him right back. Bottom of the 8th, MVP candidate thus far, Drake Baldwin has an RBI double. And then Austin Riley with an RBI single. That makes it 11-5. That is the ball game. Slater Coney gets the L in this one. He's now 0-2 with a 5.74 ERA. Tyler Kinley picked up the win in this ball game. He is now 2-0. Again, Bryce Elder has been very good. Better than I thought he was going to be to start the season. He might be getting another All-Star nod this season if he keeps us up. He's been keeping the Braves in every single game that he's pitched in thus far. He hasn't had one of those bad games, especially those that he was having, last year. But again, he's been keeping the offense in there, giving the Braves offense a chance. Again, he only gave up 2 runs in this game, which again you saw when the Braves offense turned up. They turned it up. They were able to come back and maintain that lead for the rest of the game. And shout out to the bullpen because they did a great job as well. The rest of the bullpen was great besides Jose Suarez. Jose Suarez, he gave the 4 hits and 3 runs, all those earned, but everyone else pretty clean from everyone else there. So that was the first game of the set. The Braves went down in the second game, though. It was not as good. This was the first time the Braves get shut out this season because it was a 6-0 win for the Cleveland Guardians. It was Parker Messick on the mound for them. He went 6 2/3, 4 hits allowed, no runs, of course, 2 walks, 5 strikeouts. He now improves to 2-0 with a 0.51 ERA. For the Braves, it was Martin Perez making a spot start. Again, that 5th spot is a dangerous spot for the Braves in the rotation until further notice, until maybe Strider comes back, hopefully soon. We have some news on him. He's going to be starting his rehab soon. So I believe it's Thursday. I'll double check that when we get through these games. But yeah, that 5th spot, again, it's a very dangerous spot. But he didn't do that bad. Martin Perez kept the Braves in the game because he goes 5 innings, 2 hits, just 1 run allowed, 3 walks, 2 Ks. But again, he takes it out on this one. He's now 0-1 with a 3.14 ERA. It wasn't a terrible start for Martin Perez. A nice quality start, but the offense just, they never got it going in this one. And he was actually DFA'd after this game. I want to talk about that a little bit later as well. But Parker Messick, man, phenomenal job. He kept the Braves offense shut down the entire game. And you got help from your boy, Jose Ramirez, on the top of the first inning. He has a solo shot out to left field. That makes it 1-0 Cleveland. That's the 2nd homer of the season for him. And then the top of the 6th, Joe Payams comes in for Martin Perez. He gets into some trouble. Then Aaron Bummer comes in with runners on 2nd and 3rd. He ends up walking Chase Lardo. That makes the bases loaded. He gets Reese Hoskins to ground onto 3rd. Austin Riley, he gets the grounder. He tries to tag Jose Ramirez before throwing a first. He's not able to tag out Ramirez, so he only gets the 1 out on first. But a runner does score there. That makes it 2-0 Cleveland. And Bummer gets out of the inning after that. But again, shout out to Bummer. That was I don't really trust Aaron Bummer, I gotta say. I really don't, but it could have been worse. He did a great job. He only gave up that 1 run. He got out of it. So it was not bad at all. Top of the eighth, Osvaldo Bido, he comes in. He pitches a clean inning in the 7th inning. But then the 8th inning was a little bit different. There's a different story there. He gives up a 1 run on a chase the ladder double. It makes it 3-0 Cleveland. And they kept Osvaldo Bido in to just try and get the last 3 outs here in the top of the 9th. He got the first 2, but he cannot get the final out. Walt Weiss is forced to bring in Tyler Kinley. That's a wild pitch there. It was a wild pitch. It gets by, what's his name? Jonah Heim. It gets by Jonah Heim. He couldn't find the ball. The ball went under him. He couldn't find it. It was behind him. And this was when Osvaldo Bido was still pitching. Steven Kwan, he was on first. He was stealing second on this play. He gets the second safely, goes to third since Jonah Heim can't find the ball. Jonah Heim finds the ball. He decides to throw to third. Why, I don't know, because Steven Kwan was already about 2 steps away from getting to the bag. This was one of the worst throws I've seen. Like, this throw was like, I don't know how far from the bag, but it was not even close. It was like a 3-hopper. It was just very bad throw by Jonah Heim. You know, I think he was like thinking about throwing it, and he just, when you're throwing it, you're like, oh, maybe I should eat this one. And he was caught halfway, and then he just let it go. That's what happens. Steven Kwan scores on that one, makes it 4-0 Cleveland. And then Angel Martinez follows up with a double. Then this is when Walt Weiss brings in Tyler Kinley. Tyler Kinley, he gets the final out of the inning, but it's after allowing 2 runs. It was a Daniel Schneemann RBI single that makes it 6-0 Cleveland. That was a ball game there. The Braves offense, they had some hits here and there. They got 5 hits in this ball game. No runs to show for it. Cleveland tagged the Braves for 7 hits, 6 runs. Again, 6-0 victory there. First shutout loss for the Braves this season. And you were wondering if they were able to bounce back after that loss on Saturday night. And they definitely did. They definitely did, and you're going to see why. But we had some news after Saturday's game, which I said it was Martin Perez. He was DFA'd after that ball game. Michael Harris, he was placed on a paternity list. I believe his wife gave birth, so congrats to them, their first child. So he's out. I think he's back today. Spencer Strider, he is supposed to start his rehab assignment this Thursday. He had a he had a live BP this weekend, so now he's going to be ramping up to a rehab assignment. I think they're unsure if it's going to be in AAA or AA, or I'm not sure. They haven't mentioned that yet that I know of. So not sure yet on that, but he will be starting his rehab assignment on Thursday. So, one day closer to joining the club back again. Luke Williams was brought up. Danny Young was put in the 60-day IL. And then Daysbel Hernandez was reinstated from the IL, and he was optioned to AAA Gwinnett. Eli White, he's been hurt. He's been working through some plantar fasciitis. He's day-to-day with that. And I think there was some news on Sean Murphy as well. He had his rehab assignment was delayed a bit due to some family issues he had to take care of. Hopefully everything's okay there. But that is the news there. When Martin Perez was a DFA, the Braves were able to bring up Dylan Dodd, fresh arm. Dylan Dodd, I thought he was phenomenal last year. I think he is really, really good there on the, from the left-hand side of the mound. So I think he's a very good lefty. He's very effective. They brought him up. He was able to pitch Sunday's game, game 3 of the series, the final game. It was on NBC prime time, and catch it on NBC or Peacock. For the Cleveland Guardians, it was Tanner Bybee, who went 4 2/3, 11 hits, allowed 8 runs. All those are earned. 1 walk, 4 strikeouts for him. He takes it out. And this one, he now has a 6.38 ERA. On the mound for the Braves, it was Chris Sale. And I told you guys, very rare to see Chris Sale have 2 back-to-back bad starts. And he definitely cleaned it up. He goes 6 innings in this one. They had 8 hits allowed, but only 1 run was brought in by the Cleveland Guardians in this one against him. 1 walk, 6 strikeouts. He now improves to 3-1 with a 3.27 ERA. So great job by Chris Hill to be able to bounce back from that rocky start that he had out in Los Angeles against the Angels. Bottom of the second, the Braves, they put up a crooked number early, and they had a few innings like that in this ball game. And most of these came with 2 outs, especially in this inning, in the bottom of the second. They all came with 2 outs, which makes it even more impressive. With Yastrzemski on third, Mauricio Dubon, he doubles out to center field. Talk about having a night. Mauricio Dubon, he's been great thus far, filling in. And he was in center field in this one. And so, again, a guy that you can plug anywhere. You can play him at short, center, left, second if you want, third. This guy plays everywhere. Very good utility guy. He was in center field last night. And then Jorge Mateo, who had himself a game as well. I think he went 4 for 4. I got to confirm that, but he was 4 for 4 last night when I was watching the game. He has an RBI single there. That makes it 2-0 Atlanta. Ronald Acuna Jr., he doubles home. Mateo from first with that great speed. He's flying around the bases. That makes it 3-0 Atlanta. Bottom of the fourth, Dom Smith, he's back. And he's back with a 2-run homer, this time out to the chop house. He loves it and out to the chop house. That makes it 5-0 Atlanta. Bottom of the fifth, the Braves, they score 4 in this half of the inning. And guess what? It's with 2 outs again. Ozzie Albies, he singles out to center field with runners on first and third. Matt Olson scores there. That makes it 6-0. Tanner Bybee, he comes out. Former Brave legend Kobe Allard, he comes in, the lefty. And then Walt Weiss, obviously it's a lefty. Walt Weiss, he's still being aggressive. He's like, this game isn't over yet. He's trying to play matchups. He's not being laid back. He brings in Kyle Farmer. Kyle Farmer hits a line drive. He came in for Dom Smith. So Farmer comes in, he hits a line drive down the left field line. Riley scores. Ozzie Albies scores. That makes it 8-0 Atlanta. And Mauricio Dubon, I told you earlier, guy had a phenomenal game. He singles in Kyle Farmer. He is thrown out at second, trying to leg out a double there. But, again, you could be aggressive like that when you're up 9-0. You could take that. You'll take that. It's not a bad idea. And again, you could live with that. Top of the sixth, the only run that Chris Sale gave up, it was Rhys Hoskins with a homer. Dead center, 411 feet. That's his first homer as a Guardian and the first of the season, of course. So for Rhys Hoskins, and then the bottom of the eighth, the Braves continue to tag some runs on. Mauricio Dubon singles to start the inning. He was 3 for 4. Jorge Mateo singles as well. That, again, I did say he was 4 for 4. He was 4 for 4 indeed. Cunha, he's hit by pitch right on the belt buckle. It just slid past his belt buckle. His belt is undone. It was crazy. It's like, what are the chances that you get hit there? It's crazy, but I think his pants ain't dropped. That would have been crazy. But anyways, with the bases loaded, Drake Baldwin comes up. He grounds into a force out. Mauricio Dubon scores there. That makes it 10-1. Matt Olson, he follows with a 2-run double. More insults to injury, 11-1 Braves. Austin Riley, he does the same. A 2-run score there, 13-1 Atlanta. Luke Williams, he comes in. He pinches for Ozzie. He draws a walk. And then Stephen Vogt, he brings in position player, the catcher, Austin Hedges, to try and get the final out. And he does. He does get the final out, avoiding any more damage. He gets Kyle Farmer to line out to left field. But, again, the Braves score 4 in that inning as well. A lot of big innings for the Braves in this ballgame. But that was the ballgame, guys. 13-1 victory for the Braves. Very impressive showing for the Braves offense. Everyone was hitting. Everyone was scoring. Everyone was running the bases. A lot of aggressiveness. They got thrown out a few times. One thing they got to clean up is the ABS challenges, bro. Braves with the ABS challenges are atrocious. I believe they're second in worst percentage. I think the Brewers are the worst team as of right now. But they had lost their challenges here in the bottom of the third inning. Braves were done with the ABS challenges, and it's not the first time it's happened. They're very aggressive, asking, tapping that helmet. They've been very aggressive, and the calls have not been going their way. Good thing is, again, they haven't lost a series yet, so I guess it's been working. But yeah, it's just they got to clean that up. They got to clean that up, and the base running. You got to clean that and the base running up big time, because you don't want to get into these, games later on in the season that are going to have, every game counts in the major leagues. I do say that all the time. Every game counts, but once it starts getting closer to postseason time, you don't want to be messing up like that, getting thrown out on second, at third, getting picked off at first with no outs, and you're down. Like, you don't want to go through that. So they got to clean that up, guys. Clean up the ABS challenges, clean up the base running a little bit, and I love what I see. I love what I see thus far. Chris Sale, he does get his 2,600th strikeout in the ballgame. Dylan Dodd, who I had mentioned that was brought up, he gets the 3-inning save. Impressive to see from him. He held the Cleveland Guardians lineup down. He was optioned to AAA Gwinnett. The guy just has options. It is what it is. And he's going to be down for a bit after going those 3 innings. So the Braves bring up Rolly Munoz in order to take that spot that Dylan Dodd was holding down. But again, Braves, only team to not lose a series thus far. I'm loving it. We got to keep it up. They don't have the best record, though. They don't have the best record, but they do have the title of not losing a series yet. So if anyone's trying to make fun of you, you tell them. At least we haven't lost a series yet. The only team that can say that right now. That's one thing we got to brag about as of right now. Going towards the Braves forecast, this was per Mark Bowman. We're going to transition into the Braves forecast in a little bit, but this is courtesy of Mark Bowman. He said the Braves will go with Holmes on Monday, Lopez on Tuesday, and Bryce Elder on Wednesday versus the Marlins. We're going to look at those guys, how they're doing, who they're going to be facing. And then there's an off day on Thursday, so it's said that Chris Sale is going to be on the mound Friday. Grant Holmes and then Lopez can start with regular rest during the weekend in Philly. That's going to be, again, we're going to talk about that in the Braves forecast. Yes, Philly. We're going to play Philly already. We're going to be out there in Philly. And then it says a fifth starter. It might be Martin Perez if he is not claimed by any other club. If he decides to join the Braves again, he could be a potential fifth starter. Didier Fuentes could be as well, or J.R. Ritchie. But they won't be needed until April 21st in D.C. So it's going to be a while there. That off day, again, helps the Braves to maintain the same the 4-man rotation that the main guys. They'll be able to keep that fifth spot out of the rotation until the 21st when they get to DC. So I think that's all we have when it comes to the previous Braves series and all the news regarding the Braves. I think that's all we got that has gone down. So now let's head into our next segment, which is the Braves forecast.
It's time for your Braves forecast.
It's time for the Braves forecast, where we preview the upcoming series for the Atlanta Braves. They're going to be facing off 13 games against 13 games in 14 days against NL East rivals. They have these three starting tonight at home against the Miami Marlins. Miami Marlins are coming in with an 8-8 record to face our 10-6 Atlanta Braves. After that, the Braves are going to be off on Thursday. Then they go on the road to Philly for 3, and then Washington Nationals for 4. And then the Braves are going to come back home for 3 against the Phillies, who will be visiting that time around. So that's a little bit further ahead when it comes to the Braves forecast. But these are going to be some key games because these are the first games that you're going to be facing your NL East rivals. 13 games, like I just said. So you got to go. You want to go ideally. You want to go 8-5 here. You want to go 8-5. How are we going to do it? I don't know yet. I don't know yet, but I do think, I'm going to say it right now, I do think the Braves should sweep this series against the Miami Marlins. This is who we got. Marlins are coming in with game 1 starting tonight, 7:15 p.m. Start time for first pitch. They got the righty, Eldy Perez, who's 1-1 with a 5.06 ERA. He's going up against Grant Holmes, who's 1-1 as well with a 2.55 ERA. You easily got to go Atlanta Braves. Advantage Braves there. Game 2 of the set, the righty, Max Meyer, who's 1-0 with a 3.68 ERA, going up against Reynaldo Lopez, who's 1-0 with a 1.15 ERA. Again, I got to go with my guys here, man. I got to go with my guys. Like, come on. This is a no-brainer. So Chris Paddock is going to be taking him out for game 3 for the Marlins. He's 0-2 with a 6.14 ERA, going up against Bryce Elder, who's 1-1 with a 1.02 ERA. Believe it or not, I'm going with my boy Bryce Jekyll and Hyde Elder. He's been Jekyll so far, and I think he's going to continue to be Jekyll in this ball game. I'm going Braves in this one. That's what I'm saying. 3-game sweep for the Braves against the Marlins. We'll see how it goes. Let's see if they shut me up, but I think that's what's going to happen, bro. I think that's what's going to go down. Do what you want to do with that information. I did tell you guys, if you heard the previous episode, what did I say? Braves going to win game 1. They're going to lose game 2 because we had that 5th spot coming up. And then we had Chris Sale in game 3, prime time. We're not going to lose that one. Braves ended up winning 2 out of 3. I told you guys, again, do what you want to do with that information. That is up to you. But again, Braves going into tonight facing the Miami Marlins. And hopefully after this series, we can continue to say that we're the only team in the league to not lose a series. We'll see. But I do think it's going to happen because, again, I'm confident. If we don't sweep, we got to at least win. We got to take 2 out of 3, guys. You got to keep playing good baseball. The pitching has been great. The bullpen has been insane, bro. The bullpen has been untouchable, almost untouchable, bro, besides Jose Suarez, bro. In a bad game by Osvaldo Vito. It is what it is. Jose Suarez, I mean, we got to upgrade that spot. That spot we got to upgrade. I'm sorry. It looks like a junior version of Big Sexy, by the way, Bartolo Colon. Every time I look at him, he reminds me of Bartolo Colon, bro. He kind of got the same face and everything. He definitely doesn't pitch like him, though. Definitely not pitching like him. You might have to call him up and see if you can give him some tips, bro. Because if you could turn into Big Sexy, you might be able to stick around a little bit longer. Anyways, that's it for the Braves forecast. We're gonna talk, briefly on around the league, MLB. You know what? Let me put this on real quick.
It's time for the MLB.
Welcome to the MLB, where we will briefly be talking about what's going on around the league. There's trouble in New York, guys. Trouble in New York. You guys know I'm from New York City. Trouble in New York. Why is that? Our friends, the New York Mets, they've lost 5 games in a row. Crosstown rivals, the New York Yankees, have also lost 5 in a row. Everyone's going nuts. If you're from New York and you know any New York sports fans, they're already done with the season. They're going crazy. It's over, man. Guys, what is it? The 3rd week? Calm down. You guys are going to be fine, bro. It's only the 3rd week. Everyone's panicking already, burning jerseys out here on the Cross Bronx and then on the Grand Central Parkway. Guys, you got to chill. You're going to be okay. Who I don't know if he's going to be okay or not is Francisco Lindor, bro. He's been making some bad mental plays out there, bro. Like, he's making some bad little league type plays. Like, you're not covering the bag. You're getting picked off. You're falling asleep on the bag. Like, I don't know. I don't blame Frank the Tank, bro. I really don't blame him. Frank, I'm gonna let you borrow my glasses, bro. These are getting old. I need a new pair, so I'm gonna let you get these and do whatever you want with these, Frank. I don't blame Frank right now. Frankie's funny, but he has a point, bro. He has a point right now. If anybody knows Frank the Tank, send him this video right here, a little clip this and send it to him. Frank, the glasses are all yours, my friend. So you can do whatever you want. Yankees, though, again, the Yankees have lost 5 straight as well. Going back to the Mets, it's the first time they get swept by the A's in franchise history, and they got shut out twice by them. So not a very good look. Milwaukee Brewers, they have also lost 5 in a row. Houston Astros have lost 7 straight. They're topping all those teams off. Hey, yo, pause. They've lost 7 in a row. And they're actually playing right now. It's in the top of the 4th. They're down 5-0 to the Seattle Mariners. So it might be 8 in a row if this continues here. Going a little bit more around the league, the Angels ace, Jose Soriano, who we just faced a little while ago. What was it, last week? Faced him last week. He is now 4-0 with a 0.33 ERA. The guy is absolutely cooking. If you got him on your fantasy team, congrats to you. And if you got this gentleman as well, Jordan Walker from the St. Louis Cardinals, he now has 7 homers so far in the season. And then when it comes to records, the Dodgers, of course, they do. They got the best record in the league as of right now. They're 11-4, but our Braves are right behind them with a 10-6 record, and so are the San Diego Padres, who stand in at 10-6 as well. That is all we got for today's show. If you're sticking around still, thank you. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. And we'll give these guys one last shout out, which is SeatGeek. Use code CHOPSy20 to save $20 off your first purchase on SeatGeek. Use them from any games, any sporting events, like I said, any games, any concerts, any shows. Well, what else we got? Comedy shows, Broadway plays. They all fall in the same category, guys. Go to SeatGeek. Find the tickets you need. If they're green, that means it's good. If it's red, it's probably not a good deal. But if you see that little green dot, go for it. Put them in your cart. Scroll down. Put the promo code CHOPSy20. You're going to save $20 off your first purchase. That's how you do it, guys. Thank you for using that code. Thank you for tuning in. And again, thank you, Braves Country, for showing support. Georgia's in the building. Tennessee's in the building. Carolina's in the building. I want to keep seeing some more of Braves Country tuning into the show. Again, if you guys need the socials again, I'll drop them down again. The Chopsy Pod. That's no, I'm messing it up. At the Chopsy Pod, that's on Instagram, and then at the Chopsy on X, TikTok, Facebook, and YouTube. So make sure to stay tuned in to the Chopsy. Make sure to catch these games against the Marlins that start tonight. The first one, 7:15 p.m. Again, it's going to be Eldy Perez for the Marlins going up against Grant Holmes. We'll talk before the start of the next series against the Philadelphia Phillies. We'll catch up with that. But till then, guys, I want you guys to stay safe, watch some baseball games, and then I'll see you next time on The Chop Seat.